This is the Paget messages. This message is from Jesus. How divine love enters the soul, part 2. And as to the reasoning faculties and mental qualities, they exist in the perfect state, whether the brain is healthy or not, or whether it performs its work or refuses to do so. These qualities do not depend upon the soundness or perfect workings of the organs of the physical body, in order that these spirit qualities may exist in a perfect condition. But the proper workings of the physical organs, or rather the proper and natural movements and manifestations of the brain, and the conscious operations of the mental faculties do depend upon the spirit faculties being able to use these physical organs in a proper way and in accordance with the harmony of the creation of the relative and correlative parts of man. These spirit faculties, which man calls the intellect, and the five senses, are a part of the spirit body which is enclosed in the material body, and which in turn encloses the soul. When the material body dies, the spirit body continues to exist and live on in the world of spirit, and with it, and as continuing parts of it, these intellectual faculties performing all their functions free from the limitations that the physical organs placed upon them. And when this change takes place, these mental qualities, notwithstanding that they have not the material organs through which they functioned when in the mortal frame, can conceive thoughts of things material and hear and see things of the material just as they did, and even more perfectly, when they were enveloped by the environments of flesh and blood. So you see, when the mortal dies, the only thing that dies and is left behind is the mere physical body, and with the spirit body survives all those things which can be said to be the real man so far as the mind is concerned. Hence, man never ceases to remember and to progress and to know that he is a being which death cannot destroy or change into something that he was not before death came to him. And thus I answer the question, when a man dies, shall he live again? He never ceases to live, and his living is not a new life, but merely the continuation of the old life, with all the things of mind and conscience that were his in the old life. In the purely spirit life, the spirit body continues to contain the soul and will be its protector and covering, so long as that spirit body shall last. But this body then begins to change, and by disintegration into what we may call spirit elements, and the formation of new elements to replace the disappearing ones. This change in this body is not caused by the same laws that operated to change and disintegrate and replace the physical body, but by the law controlling the development of the soul which the spirit body contains. The soul is the real man because it is the only thing or part of man that may become immortal. The only part of man that was made in the image of its creator, and the only part of man that may become a part of the substance of its maker and partake of its divine nature. I say may, for that is an important part of this great possibility. I know this possibility of the soul becoming immortal by partaking of the divine nature of God is true, for it is a proven fact in the case of many souls who are now in the celestial heavens. I also know that there are many souls in the spirit world who have been there for many centuries, who have never received this divine nature and consciousness of immortality. Whether such souls who have not received this divine love shall become or are immortal has never been demonstrated. This I do know, that in the economy of God's plan for the forming of his kingdom at some time, when I don't know, this privilege of partaking of his divine nature and the certainty of immortality will be withdrawn from the souls of men and spirits, and then whether these souls who suffer this condemnation will partake of immortality, no spirit knows, only God. There are other things that I know and here tell you, and among them is this, that so long as the soul does not receive this divine nature, the mind, which I have described as being a part of the spirit body, continues to exist and dominate both soul and body. and in its progress it may attain to a condition of purity and perfection such as were possessed by the first created living souls, our first parents. Many spirits now are in this condition, but yet are mere men, and their souls remain only in the image of God, nothing more. That was part 2 of the Paget messages received 100 years ago. This is volume 2, available on Amazon, and free PDFs available at divinelove.org.